Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In this short video clip, I am going to share with you a commonly used study design which is known as a case control study. Now what I am going to discuss in this video is the case control study design, the sampling techniques which we use in case control study design, and the advantages and disadvantages of this particular study design. Now case control study design, as the name suggests, have two groups in it. One is known as cases and the other one is known as controls. Now cases are those individuals who have disease and the controls are individuals who do not have that particular disease and they represent the general population. In a case control study design, the sampling is basically done based on the outcome. So cases are selected from usually hospital-based settings where individual already diagnosed with the disease or those who are newly diagnosed. When they reach hospital, they are selected as a cases in the study's design. Controls are usually selected from the general population, but they can also be selected from the household of the cases. They can also be selected from the neighborhood of the cases. They can be selected from the friends of the cases. But the idea behind the selection of the controls is that they have to represent the general population exposure level for those exposures which we are trying to relate with these outcomes. In terms of advantages and disadvantages of a case control study design, one of the key advantages of a case control study design is that it can study the rare outcomes. The other advantage of a case control study design is that it can relate multiple etiologies or multiple risk factors in the past with a current disease status. And on top of that, case control study design is a relatively quick and inexpensive study design. As far as the key problem which most researchers face is the selection of control group in a case control study design. And most case control study designs get biased because of the poor selection of control group in the study. And this type of bias or this type of error is known as selection bias. The other common problem in a case control study design is the recall bias. Because individual in the case control study have to recall all the exposure which occurred in the past, there can be error in the recalling. So this type of error in the case control study leads to a mistaken result which is known as a recall bias. So this is a brief video where we have discussed the sampling, design, as well as advantages and disadvantages of a case control study design. Thank you very much.